live!
Hey dolls, it's me, Wilma Fingerdew. Welcome. As I wipe the crumbs off my face.
Oh no!
I'm choking now too. Candice Gregoris is here. She is being fabulous over there, moderating. If you have questions, she will make sure that I hear the questions. If you, excuse me, if you want to follow along, I'll tell you what makeup I'm about to use. As I stick a Kleenex right up my nose. Sorry. I am stuffed. I don't know why. I have complete and utter sinus congestion. I may sound congested. My nose will run because it runs anyway when I do makeup. But pardon me. Pardon me again. All right. So the makeup I'm using today, it's based on the fact that I'm on another no-buy. Excuse me. Let me have a sip of my Tim Hortons coffee. Oh, I gotta take that lid off. I hate these lids.
Oh, do you?
They get right in my way. See, now I have to blow my nose again.
Okay, you're taking care of yourself. How is everyone? How's everyone doing?
There we go.
How's your February going?
All right, so hopefully my nose will remain calm. So I'm using some oldish palettes. The first palette I'll be using is Glamlite's Chucky. This was a gift from Martha Grunwald, one of my Patreoners. It is a fantastic palette because it's so dark. And I've had this a year and I have never used it. And I love it. I'm obsessed with this palette. When it came out, I was obsessed with it. So I'm going to be using this today. I'm going to be using a lot of the darker tones to create my lid, upper lid area. The other palette I'm going to be using is the Betty Boop palette from Glamlite as well. This is a gorgeous palette because where Chucky's very dark, this one is not. And I really like, I'm going to be using this color here. What's it called? Major Sass on my lids because this is just the most beautiful. Look at that. It's incredibly insane, that color. I just love it.
Wild. Would you say that pulls more orange or more pink?
This is kind of a duochrome.
Ah.
So excuse me. Excuse me again. It does have an orange and pink quality to it. In the pan, it looks very orange, but it highlights pink. And that's my favorite orange shimmer, is the shimmer that highlights pink or a pink that highlights orange. I just find the color combination really good, but this is so deep. Normally, this is a much lighter tone in other palettes, and in the Betty Boop palette, it's very rich and saturated, which I'm excited about.
Hi, Chloe. Hi, Steph. We've got
Chloe's here. Chloe.
Hi.
And Steph Turner. How are you, Steph? I'm still editing our video. Oh my God! I'm still editing. It's terrible. I'm further along, but it's Tim Hortons, a great Canadian company that the Americans bought. So I don't know what it's going to do now. What are we going to do for coffee?
I don't know.
We'll have to go back to second cup.
To go to second cup.
Even second cup is closing.
Hey, Godiva Ferguson. Good morning.
Oh, Godiva, how are you? Excuse me. I was excited, Godiva. What? Excuse me. All right. The last palette I'm using today is the Sinister palette from Cosmic Beauty. Chloe, who's already here, ventured out on this ghost shade, which is really just a gel. When I saw the initial launch of this palette, the ghost gel in here, which looks just basically like it's just it looks clear, but it's actually a gel. This they were using it to make the eyelid look slick or wet, or I don't. But Chloe used it to secure the shimmers. So I'm going to use that ghost shade today for that. I'm also going to use some of the purples I think in here for my upper lid. And I may have to go through my whole afternoon with a Kleenex just rammed up my nose. My nose won't stop running. And it's weird because it's my congestion, full congestion. And then all of a sudden there'll just be this like thimble-sized full drop of goo just running out my face. Like, no, we're going over here now. And I can't. It's terrible. It's terrible. Welcome to my world. All right. So I'm just going to take.
We've also got Sin C is here with us now.
Hey, doll.
Wonderful.
I'm going to start with. I'm so excited to use this Crazy in Love palette, the Chucky one, because it's so good. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're starting with this one, but I'm so excited to use it because Martha sent this to me like just a little while after it was launched 2 years ago, and I have never used it. So I'm going to go into.
I agree. The Italians are just as crazy as the United States.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, just as wild. Just as wild.
I'm just going into that light gray tone. Good guys. Oh, I haven't even primed my. This is my big problem. I was talking to Wilhelmina about this. I get so excited to put on makeup. I mean, I really do. I don't wear makeup every day. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And so for me, when it comes time, whether I'm trying a new palette or I'm getting ready for something, I always forget to put eye primer on because I'm just so excited to put the makeup on. So P. Louise Rumor Zero, that's my jam. I'm using a P. Louise brush. I don't even know what this is for. It's just it's almost like a short complexion brush or something, but this is great for eye primer because you can get it like all over. It does it quickly.
That's like a very dense bristle.
Yeah. It's from I didn't buy this specifically. It came in a P. Louise that I got in one of the advent calendars or something. But P. Louise brushes, I'm just gonna say it, they're the best. I'm not a big fan of a lot of brushes. I bought Ladybug Glow's brushes lately. They're these little short red ones. These I can't stop using. I don't know why, but they're excellent. My only problem is just a little short.
Right.
Just I got big man hands. I like my.
Sometimes you can get a nice short brush that's good for travel. Like you're gonna pack something away, you're going away for a weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we hear Candice?
Let me know if you can hear me.
Can you hear me? Because I'm going to switch the microphone up if they can't hear you.
Okay, no worries. We've got some like great notes here too. Well, good morning, Martha. Good morning to you.
Is that Martha Grindwald? Yeah. Martha, I'm finally using your palette.
Wonderful. For Chloe, she's saying for her it's mascara. She needs to keep some in her purse, as I remember after I leave home. Steph is also saying not your basic Steph. Also loves those P. Louise brushes.
Yeah.
Steph can hear me.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
Yay!
Good.
Huzzah!
This microphone that was a gift from Eric Cool. This is great because it's directional. I can either have it where it just picks me up. It's a Yeti Blue mic. Or I can have it do conversation to people or the whole room. So if you're in a room like we are with a fan running, you won't hear the fan. Is the theory. I don't know. I'm too busy talking, so I don't know. But all right, so there, we're primed. We're primed.
Hey, we're primed.
Now I can get in on this. Yeah, so I am grabbing another P. Louise brush. I don't know which one. I'm going into Good Guys, which is this gray. It's actually, ironically, the lightest tone. These two are probably the lightest tones in the palette, but it's so dark. Let's go to start. But yeah, I didn't really want to do something for Valentine's Day per se, because I don't really celebrate it. The one year I was dating somebody for Valentine's Day. Well, I wasn't even dating them. It was my ex, but we were just starting to date, and he had said something about, he had plans for Valentine's Day. And because we were like, I just don't assume anyone's ever talking about me. Like it's easier that way. I'm never disappointed. I'm never in a situation where I'm like, oh, I would like to have done that. I just assume that nobody's including me. No one's talking about me. And so here's this guy I'm just seeing talking about, oh yeah, I got reservations at a restaurant. And I was like, oh, that's fun. Who are you taking? Like,
Oh my god.
well, I didn't want to presume anything.
I understand, but also still.
This is the same guy that I would come home from being like out all day. Go, what'd you do? Oh, I went to some movie. And he'd be like, oh, you didn't think I want to see that with you? And it's like, no.
You know what I mean?
It never crossed my mind because I'd never gone to a movie with anybody, you know, on purpose.
Yeah, you get in your
group. Yeah. I'm just so used to being alone. So Valentine's for me is never a big issue. But when Candice said, oh, I'm free to do a live, I thought we have to do one.
It's been too long. 100%.
And then I realized, oh, Valentine's is that weekend. So it at least gave me a theme.
Yeah, Shmalentine's today.
Valentine's, Galentines, Shmalentines. Last year, I had to ask people, what the hell is a Galentine?
I think it's like the 13th. I think it's from a Parks and Rec.
Oh, is that right?
Episode. I think, yeah, it's like an Amy Schumer. No, Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler.
I miss my Amy's. My apologies.
Oh, I never found her funny.
Amy Poehler?
No, I always thought she just looked insane. Like I couldn't take it as funny because I couldn't tell if she was joking.
Fair enough.
There's just a level of insanity in her eyes that it's not her fault, but it's just there. And when she goes off on that, like some of that weird ultra comedy, it just makes me kind of go, is she all right? You know what I mean? It's just me. I don't dislike her. Like I think she and Tina Fey did a great job hosting when they hosted whatever they hosted.
Oh, Golden Globes.
Yeah, was it the Golden Globes? They did a great job. I wish that the Golden Globes had incorporated more of what they did into. I hate the way the Golden Globes are.
You know that Demi Moore is doing well right
now.
Oh,
I'm so proud for her.
Movie.
You know what impresses the hell out of me?
Tell me.
So Demi Moore's been doing all these red carpets, and that's all great. And here in Canada, we watch Canada's Drag Race. And Brad Goretzky is a judge of Canada's Drag Race. And, stylist and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, only because what's he ever done? Well, he's been styling Demi Moore this whole red carpet season. That gold dress she wore to the Golden Globes, oh my God. So now my opinion of Brad Goretzky has completely changed. Completely changed.
Okay, we've got focus. We had some camera buzz.
Oh, just me?
We're back in focus. But yeah, I remember Brad Goretzky from when our beloved Saint Joan Rivers was still with us, and he used to do some of those Hot or Not shows.
So is that right?
Yeah. Oh. That's where I first learned of him was through Joan Rivers' programs. She used to do those shows.
Yeah, I don't have any referencing to him at all. I'm now going into with Chucky. I Just Want to Be Hugged, which is a really deep, almost black maroon. But I'm just going to use this in with this gray. Look how dark that is. That's amazing.
A lot of payoff.
Holy crap. That's the hard thing with some makeup. Like if you've never used it, it's like, oh, I love watching people do it like an unboxing in a first. You know who's cute? Carrie Kay from Britain. She'll put on a makeup and she'll, oh! And then she looks at the camera. It's the same reaction to people who burn their bangs off their face. And they're like,
oh no.
But all she's done is put like a dab of makeup on, and it just throws her. I just love it. It makes me laugh. But I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. I mean, I'm one of those people. I take advantage of the sales on the 15th.
Well, as you should.
Not anymore, but I mean, I used to.
Steph loves Carrie Kay.
Yeah, Carrie Kay's great.
Hi, Rex Trek. Happy that you're here.
Rex is here. Trouble. Watch your purses.
Chucky palette.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm trying to use. Yeah, that's really. Sorry, my nose is so stuffed. I'm so sorry. It's funny because it's just allergies. Like I feel great. I just can't breathe through my nose. And then I put all this makeup on the end of my nose, and then halfway through, it looks like I've been drinking.
Just an opportunity to show how we touch up our nose after
Yeah.
blowing it.
Yeah. I'm going to go into the Sinister palette from Cosmic Beauty now. And I'm going to take this beautiful... yeah, I'm going to take this beautiful Cursed, which is... I used this palette the first time I used this palette. So...
Sorry, hold that up again.
Oh, so sorry. So Cursed is this one right here.
Okay. Ooh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
It's like a grape almost.
Yeah. And I just want to use it against that dark that I just used. Just pat it in. It's so weird. I've been doing my reviews with Wilhelmina more. Like lately, the last year, I think we've been doing more together. So when I'm filming without her, I kind of feel like, oh, something's wrong. There's a disturbance in the force.
Yeah, Chloe's saying that she also really loves Glamlite products.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of the company per se, but they had a good run there for me for a while because Martha actually sent me the Rutro Raggy palette, which is excellent. I love it. And then she sent me her Chucky palette, and then I got, because based on that, after its launch, I got the Betty Boop palette. And again, I haven't used it because I bought it kind of as I was moving, and you know what I mean, like a lot of life was happening. But yeah, I not all Glamlite is great. I don't like some of their. I feel like they do too many launches. I feel like they do too many like IP collabs. Like they're like Glamlite isn't good enough on its own. They have to have Betty Boop or Chucky or Freddy or something attached to it. You know, when they started, they did a lot of food-based palettes. So there was a hamburger, a pizza, things like that, donut. And then they did strawberry shortcake, and that really, I think, started what happened with Glamlite.
Right.
Because now it's just all IP. They don't launch anything as themselves. There's no
everything is a collab.
Yeah, it's all like Betty Boop or The Crow or something. And it makes me wonder, well, are they putting any faith in their own product?
Got it. Yeah, there's a lot in that strawberry shortcake collection, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. Oh, Viva, you're pretty, says hello.
Oh, how are you, doll?
Hi there.
It's been a while.
Oh, how are you? Glad I didn't miss your live today. We're glad you're here too. Oh, I can't sleep on Chloe here. You two are the best duo on YouTube. That'd be you and Wilhelmina Box Farm. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love this palette. This purple.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And that color is called Cursed?
Yeah. And then I'm just going to use the same brush. And I'm going to go into Cheery, which is this lavender, on the edge, just to blend out this purple a bit.
We're blending.
What is that from?
I'm not sure. I know there's something that I think is like we're walking.
Oh, I know. Isn't it blending? Isn't it Koothrappali putting data makeup on Sheldon?
Oh, you could be right. You could be right. You know what? Godiva, both those palettes are really calling out the little goth girl. And same. I love a goth look.
The Chucky palette.
Elder goth.
The Chucky palette is so goth. I just love that. It's so dark.
It is amazing.
And when the light hits it, like this comes off quite pink. And this is clearly gray. And this black here has red sparkles in it. And this red here. But I love how not bright it is, you know?
Yeah. Right now, we're still using the Sinister palette.
Yeah. I used the same purple the last time I used this. It's just such a great purple.
It is. It's really gorgeous.
Yeah. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, Martha Grenwald, the Sinister box was so nice. Yeah, it is beautiful. Chloe, Cosmic Brushes, my obsession. Yeah, heard great things about those brushes. Hi, Viva. Yep, we're using 3 palettes today. We're using Betty Boop by Glamlite, Chucky by Glamlite, and our Sinister from Cosmic. Huzzah!
I wanted to use all of the palettes I had that were black and red kind of theme.
Yeah, for our whole...
And when I was waiting for the Sinister palette to come, because there was a strike going on at the time, it struck me that I saw somebody's video on the Sinister palette, and because I was avoiding it, and then I thought, oh, I might as well just have a look, and then I thought, oh my god, is that like the Chucky palette? And then I saw it wasn't as dark, and then I was like, oh, well then is it like the Betty Boop palette? Absolutely not at all. Yeah, so I was very pleased with that, but it was a worry because again, one of the YouTube channels I watch is Teresa Mulhern, where she does her releases and rants. She has one up today for this week, and she's really helped me to be more critical when I'm looking at palettes because, like, she notices how many shades in a palette are the same,
right,
or similar, or she'll say, oh, this palette looks so much like this other company's makeup palette. And then you realize, oh, they are very similar. And I already have that other one. And, I think we're in this weird vortex right now where people are getting caught up in buying new all the time. And there's no enjoyment. Nobody's stopping to enjoy what they already own.
Yeah,
100%. And I just feel like we're not enjoying our own things.
Yeah, we were like literally just talking about that before we went live.
Yeah.
There's this one palette that I keep looking at and I keep going, I don't need this.
Yeah.
I'm just being seduced
Yeah.
by the purples
Yeah.
because I'm a sucker for any palette with purples in it.
Well, and that's the thing. Somebody was doing a video, like a declutter video, and I'm not sure who it was. It may have been Erica Conger, somebody, but they were going through, and as I was watching, because there was quite a lot of palettes, and they got rid of a lot, which impressed me. But I was watching them, as an outsider watching them pick what palettes they liked and tell why, and I started to see similar color stories.
Right.
And it was like, okay, well, you've thrown out this palette, but you've kept 6 that are this, and they all have that color in them, or something. You know what I mean? And,
yeah,
and it just, it's so easy to watch somebody else,
Yeah,
and also, I'm not emotionally attached. Like, oh, this was a gift, and this was I do get given things, and I really appreciate getting given things, and I use them or try to. And if they're of no use to me, I get rid of them. I don't have space. You know what I mean?
Totally.
No offense. And I don't just discard them. I try and find a good home, stuff like that. But it's I can understand why people keep things for sentimental reasons, but
yeah, I've done that.
If you have to make a run for the border, If that's not helping you get over the wall, then leave it.
I totally get that. There's this palette that I've held on to, and it was the Oh Honey palette, which was the
Right.
Trixie Mattel Sugar Pill collab before Trixie launched Trixie Mattel Cosmetics,
Right.
right? So it was before then, but I've just held on to it
Yeah.
since then. I don't use it that much, but
I'm just going in now with my rumors to zero. Cut my crease. I try not to put any makeup anywhere I'm not going to want it later. That way, when I do something like cut a crease, I'm not removing lots of makeup.
fair enough.
Too bad. Remember the first time I cut a crease? It took me forever. I think I started doing a little, and then one was too high, one was too high, and I ended up with them up by my eyebrows. Terrible. So now what I do is I make sure that they kind of start in the same place as far as my bone structure is concerned. I try and follow the same contours so that the crease makes sense, structurally to my face. But if they're different, I don't worry because my eyes are different.
Yeah, fair enough.
And also, eyelashes hide everything.
Sometimes I definitely, when I'm doing both sides, have to remember sisters, not twins.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as they're not feuding in-laws.
Wonderful. Oh, thanks, Chloe. Looking so good already. Purple's so hard for me. I can't give them up, though. Oh my God, I'm a sucker for any kind of a purple or a berry, anything like that.
Yeah. I have the Beauty Bay Berry palette, or the berries. Yeah. I've never used it, but I had to get it because of the color.
Yeah, no, totally.
So that's my year. This is this year coming. As I'm making a point of using everything that I have, and I'm not buying it. Well, I can't buy anything. I'm broke, but I'm all for gifts. But
Nudge, nudge.
no, but even still, somebody asked me the other day if I wanted something, and I was like, no, you know what, I'm good. And the reason is because I just get too much stuff. And then what happens is I forget I have some things, and then I buy new, and it's like, oh, now I have something that's just rotting in my drawer. Blair Dale, MUA, who's this great makeup artist from Canada. They just released their second palette. It's gorgeous. And I have their first one, Hunter and Prey. And it's great. It's very much a Daywalker palette, but it's much more intense. Like, I think when you look at it, you go, oh, this is great for work. But it's actually got a lot of punch to it. There's a lot of drama, and I really like it. I use it for a lot of structure work.
Right.
Excuse me, but it was so funny. Blair asked me if I wanted a code for their website so people could get a discount, and I said I thanked them so much because I thought, oh, how sweet of you to want to include me, but I'm not a makeup channel. I love makeup. I use makeup, but I'm not a makeup channel. And even my makeup videos don't do very well compared to the RuPaul stuff, which I get. But I just hate it when people send me something because I appreciate it, but I wish that I helped them sell it better. That's my only thing. Like, do I want to get a gift? Yes. Oh, sorry, I don't know why my phone's blowing up. Would I like a gift? Yes. Who doesn't want a gift?
Yeah.
But I just am so aware of the effort that these companies are putting out to create. I'm so sorry. Let me just mute this. That should help. I just hate feeling like they've wasted something. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I think if people are offering, they're interested, right?
Yeah.
Like, who's asking you out to lunch if they don't want to go out to lunch with you? You know what I mean?
Yeah, true enough. True enough. All right, so now we're into Betty, and we are going into Major Sass, which is this gorgeous whatever this is.
Major Sass.
Now,
okay.
I'm just wondering. Let me think here. I want to use that ghost shade from Cosmic Brushes. So I'm going to take. That's too dark. I'm not sure. I want to put this down, but I'm going to use the ghost shade, the ghost gel from Cosmic Brushes to put over. I want to put it down so that it sticks to something, but
Right.
I don't want to put it on primer because what's the point? So I'm thinking of either using the red or this gray mauve on my lid first, but
Can
this,
you lift the palette
sorry,
higher?
this purple, this looks very pinky
Yeah,
purple
Wilma
in
too.
life. Yeah, but then I'm going to use that,
That's gonna look great.
but I'm wondering, should I put this color down
Try it. I'm a boop. Let's
or
give it a go.
that one?
I'm gonna go dark. I'm gonna go. I'm a boop. If I get a
All
vote,
right.
that's my vote.
All right, I'm a boop.
I mean, let's not go half-hearted.
Just getting it to stick to this primer. Yeah, I'm not putting a lot of this. I'm doing this mostly to like matte down the primer.
Nice.
Oh, excuse me.
Subtle.
Yeah, aren't they pretty? So I'm just using a fluffier brush to put the same,
Oh, nice.
more of the same shade on. But now that it's kind of tacked down. Yeah, this type of boop looks so red in the pan, but it's coming up a little, almost slightly fuchsia.
Yeah, and it's reading that way. It's got like that deep pink look.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So that's what I wanted to try. All right. So I'm going to take Sinister. For anyone who has this and hasn't used the ghost pan, the only drawback to the ghost pen is it's got a little plastic. I don't know if you can see this.
Ah, okay.
A little plastic thing that goes
Right,
over
right.
the whole pan. And now where am I supposed to put it?
Fair enough.
I'm sticking it on the mirror here like this.
Yeah.
Just to,
I mean,
but yeah, so here's this ghost shade. So I'm going to go back in with. Where's that brush I just used? I'll use this one from Ladybug. Yeah.
Steph has to step off. It was great to have you join us, Steph.
Bye, Steph, darling. Good to see you. Have a great weekend. All right, so now I'm brushing this on. Oh, excuse me. I'm just brimming forth. I'm going to concentrate this gel up on my crease line.
Right.
It does make the eyelid look glossy. And it's got a weird little, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of hanging from,
I can see a little
there's a
bit.
drip
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's very jelly,
Right.
like hair wax. That
Okay.
consistency. It's not as loose as a gel.
But not as stiff as, say, a petroleum jelly?
No. Oh, maybe it's like Vaseline. All right. Yeah, you can see it's there.
Yeah.
And now I'm going in with. So I'm going to use. I'm a major sass, but I'm also going to go in with classic chic. I don't know what that one's called. Whatever this one in the corner.
Classic is classy chic.
Classy chic.
Classy chic.
Whatever. And I'm using the same brush that I put the gel down with, but I'm wiping it off. Here we go. Major sass. Oh, I love this. Oh.
Ooh. Oh, I like that.
Oh my God.
So nice.
Yeah, I knew I would like this color. There's not as much orange in this pink when you get it on. Or it comes off a little more like fire engine red as a total.
Yeah.
But
I like it.
yeah, I'm not mad at that. So I'm patting it on to grab the gel. And then once it's kind of stuck to it, then I'm swiping it to get that as much sheerness as I can.
Wow. Nice.
Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go back in with the darker colors. Yeah, I had no idea that this red would wash out that black.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, is that great?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's the thing too, is like you sometimes I can be very concerned, like, oh, if I put these things in here, is it just gonna make it all muddy? But
yeah,
it's pretty clear that no, you can get a very defined and bright look.
And so now I'm going in with classy chic for the inner corner area.
We've done major sass. We're about to do the classy chic. We're in classy chic mode. Ooh. And would you characterize that classy chic? Is it pinky? Is it?
It's a nude pink. It's like a nude pink.
It's like an okay.
Peachy pinky nude. It's
like
very
champagne.
Yeah, like if I swipe it on my hand, it's very look how bright it is.
Yeah, yeah. How would you compare that to the XOXO in that same palette? Like if you swatch those.
Oh yeah, it's the XOXO comes off much more neutral.
Okay.
In the pan, but it looks more orange.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whereas the classy
The XOXO.
chic is XOXO is this one.
Oh, okay.
The classy chic is this one.
All right.
Pinker, oranger. Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes it's hard to tell when you're looking at the.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
So,
but it's also what's your computer resolution at?
That's it. You're right. Exactly. And so sometimes I just feel like looking at them next to each other can be like, oh, I see now. Or sometimes you're like, this looks like these are the same colors in this palette. Why are these two things in here?
Yeah. I'm also going to go into Pudgy, which is the white one up in the
Okay, it looks like very frosty.
Yeah. I'm just going to put that here in the inner corner. Ooh.
Using that pudgy color.
Pudgy. Get on it. Get down on it.
Get down on it.
Get down on it. Get down.
I'm going to stop now before I have to pay someone. Yeah, I mean, you really can see the orange in the shade when they're swatched next to each other. Yeah, that's sort of why I was asking, because you can sort of see the image of the palette online, and I'm like, okay, how are these different from each other, you know?
All right. This is my favorite brush. This company went bankrupt.
Oh, no.
Or closed. I don't remember what it was. Let me have a look.
What company was it?
I'm trying to find out. It's Bell Cosmetics. They closed recently, and I bought a bunch of their brushes. And this little fine pencil brush, it is so tiny. It's my favorite. And I'm going into back into Chucky. I could use the black from Betty Boo. I'm sure it's the exact same black as its Glamlite, but I'm going to go into the Chucky one, and it's called Free Hugs. Are you a fan of the Chucky movies?
You know what? I saw the first one when it first came out 1.5 million years ago. I think I was literally working in a video store at that point. And part of why I would have watched that is that Chris Sarandon was in it.
Uh-huh.
And let's just say at that time, Chris Sarandon, he gave me feelings.
You must have been all over Fright Night.
Well, this is why it was post Fright Night.
Oh.
I watch Fright Night at least, 1 or 2 times a year.
Is that right?
For sure.
What did you think of the remake?
It was fine.
It was so bad.
You know what? There are people in my life who love Colin Farrell, and you can't say anything wrong about a Colin Farrell film.
No, I love Colin Farrell. And any of the problems I had with that movie had nothing to do with him.
No, fair enough.
It just wasn't as good. They glossed over some things, and it was weird. Amanda Bierce was in that.
I love Amanda Bierce.
Yeah, and she was Marcy on Married with Children.
100%. And then also there was a character in Fright Night called Evil Ed.
Yeah.
So
he was in a lot of movies.
Yeah. That was my nickname in high school. Was just Evil. Yeah. Oh, Viva says, "Oh my God, I haven't heard that song in forever." I'm assuming that's Cool in the Gang. That was Get Down on It.
Yeah.
You gotta love Cool in the Gang, man.
Get down.
Yeah, I'm like half goth, half funk.
My favorite job ever was working in a video store.
That was my favorite job ever too. Chloe Fright Night loves both versions. I totally get it. Yeah. You can't get enough, but you know what I mean? Chris Sarandon just as a special.
Did you know?
Roddy McDowell.
Yeah, so great. Yeah.
Stop.
He's one of the reasons I like Overboard, the original Overboard. Roddy McDowell.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Did you know Chris Sarandon was married to Susan Sarandon?
Yes, I did. That's where she got her last name.
I didn't know that. I spent my whole life watching Susan Sarandon and then Chris Sarandon, and I'm like, oh, they must be related, or maybe not. I don't know. Married. Yeah, I had no idea.
And do you know that Chris Sarandon, here's where I go down my rabbit hole.
Uh-oh.
Do you know that Chris Sarandon is currently married to the actress Joanna Gleason?
No.
Yes, they've been married for years.
Wow. She won a Tony for The Butcher's Wife.
Yeah, totally. And Chris Sarandon has on his YouTube channel, he has a podcast about people who work in diners or who did restaurants, because he grew up with a Greek diner. His parents ran a Greek diner. Yeah, so and on his podcast, he's had Joanna on, he's had Susan Sarandon on.
Yeah.
So he's like one of these people who seems to have just such a great relationship with his exes. So that's always nice to hear, that people have good relationships with people.
You should have a good relationship with your ex. It saw you naked. Be nice.
Hi, Martha Anastasia. Don't worry about being late. We're just glad you're here. Are you even kidding me? So happy to have you.
Martha, she's trouble.
Well, you know what I mean? Bring the trouble here. That's what I'm looking for.
Watch your purses.
Let's get the excitement. Even more. Let's up our game at all points. This is looking lovely.
Who, me?
Yeah.
I'm not even paying attention. Well, you're talking over there, right? So I'm just going back into pudgy with my fat fingers and just highlighting my brow bone.
Nice.
I am also now just going to take my bake off. This is I'll look at this. There is no fallout from any of these three products.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, and I used a lot of black.
Yeah, black is tough.
I put on extra bake specifically because of this.
Yeah, Martha sure does keep us on our toes.
I feel like I just need to bring some of this classy chic up into here.
Classy chic is with which palette?
Betty.
Ah,
Boop, boopy
Betty.
doop. Oh yeah, I look all right.
You look fab.
I like to just have a look over there, see what's going on. I'm just going to take Creepy, the light purple from Sinister. I'm just tapping it out on my hand. I don't have a little marble slab to do that on, but if you follow Daniela Cosmic Peaches, she says the best way to really make sure you get good even distribution of your eyeshadow is to pat it out on a stone or a palette.
But stone, not a metal palette?
I don't know. She seems to use a stone one. I'm sure that the temperature has something to do with it.
Yeah,
right. But I would assume that the metal one would be similar. But I don't know. I have
a tiny piece of marble for cheese. Maybe I'll use that.
I don't know if you want your cheese marble mixing up with your other marble.
Well, I will be sure to wash thoroughly between usages. Godiva is saying I make a brave attempt to ignore packaging, but anything Betty Boop gets me every time.
Yeah.
I totally hear you. One palette that I bought, it was a lip palette, and I'm usually not like a lip palette. I'm not usually using a lot of brushes to apply lip product, but many years ago, Urban Decay released these Patrick Nagel ones. Duran Duran album covers, and I'm like, I have to have this.
Yeah, I was such a fan of Patrick. I was in art school when that was big.
Oh my gosh!
Airbrush changed everything.
Yeah,
it took the aerosol can and gave it more detail, like because it was just basically airbrushes were aerosol cans were portable airbrushes.
Fair enough.
And I remember the first time I saw somebody using an aerosol can the way you would use an airbrush, and it all of a sudden all made sense to me.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. I just used that Creepy just to. I notice for me when I'm doing my makeup, and I usually have a monitor going when I'm doing my makeup.
Right.
By nature of how I usually do it. I use a webcam for most of my stuff. Lately, I've been using a new camera that's great, my Sony, but I don't. It doesn't have to be hooked up to the computer. So what I do is I have a monitor that I can see. But as long as I can see what I'm looking like on the monitor, then I get a better sense of how my makeup is. And one thing I tend to do is I don't put on enough makeup.
Oh, interesting.
I'll look at myself on the monitor after I do this and go, oh, that's a lot of makeup, and I look at like I have chapstick and mascara on. What happened? And then I have to go back in and really apply. But I feel like I had to do that here. I'm just going to go back in also with this brush into Play Pals, which is that deep maroon, and I don't want it to take over. I just want to.
Now, Glamlite
smoke
house.
this
That's
thing.
in which
Chucky.
palette?
Chucky.
Chucky. Okay.
And it's dead center.
Okay.
And I just want to draw out this area.
That looks really lovely.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd necessarily know just by looking at it in the palette that would be the type of payoff it gets, but it's good to see.
This is the thing. You can never be sure.
You know what? You're right.
Because you can read the formula, you can read all the ingredients, you can, I use that color all the time in other palettes. Like everything's always different. And I just use my color theory. And if it fails desperately, then I just take a makeup wipe and wipe it off. It's just makeup.
Fair enough.
You know, it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
but
no lives are lost.
But also it's trial and error. Like I have an art background, so I have a better, like I try and explain to Wilhelmina, like, oh, there's a lot of blue in that red. She just stares at me like I'm insane.
Oh, okay.
And I get it. She doesn't look at colors that way,
Right.
and has never, had to. And I remember the first time somebody explained to me what blue red. I couldn't get over it.
I'm totally that type of person too. Is it a blue red or is it an orange red?
Yeah, is it a warm or a
More
yeah?
cool, yeah, totally.
And also the amount of blue that goes into pink and how it can become fuchsia and so because I have that background, which what colors complement and all that, it helps me make some choices, but it doesn't make it easier all the time because it can be real hit and miss. And especially if stuff doesn't blend well, like if it's a hard blend, you could really end up with yeah, that looks better.
It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm taking my ancient this is Krylon Super Color. It's just white, but it's almost done, but I'm using it because I'm using it up. That's what we do here. I can't finger do. Okay, so before I do, see, I get excited. Before I do that, I have to do my my nose contour and all that jazz. I have been using this palette for my contour. This is from P. Louise. It came in last year, not this year. Last year's advent calendar, and it's just a bronzer palette, but it goes quite dark.
It does. It's a nice range in there.
Yeah, and I've been using this for my contour. I might use it for my eyebrows sometimes, whatever. But it's a really great little palette for the range of contour in there. Yeah. And then this year, the advent calendar had this palette, Spoilt for Choice, and it's all creams. So when I'm doing my initial complexion, this is what I use first. So you see all the contour I have, that's all from here. Then I powder the whole thing down, and then I go in and I get specific with my contour and shading. And so one of the things that I do, so funny. I've just been using so many of these brushes, and now I don't know which ones have been used and which ones haven't. What's in here? Oh, here we go. This is what I want. This is a shitty brush. This is from Trixie Mattel.
Oh, is it?
It's the brush that came with the cream gel liners, which the black one is excellent. I don't know why the white one isn't as good. The white one's patchy and dry, but so this was the cheap brush that came with it, but this is great for nose contour.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah, so
that's so much about color payoff as well. I mean, I know we're talking about nose contour now, but when we were talking about color payoff in eyeshadow palettes, sometimes you just gotta try a different brush. Sometimes you just gotta try putting it on with your finger. Yeah,
that's a huge thing, especially with shimmers. I have such big fingers, I hate to use them, but sometimes, that's what's going to give you, because a lot of these shimmers, the science is that these things are, like they have texture to them, but when you smooth them out, that's what creates the reflection. And if you can't get your finger in there, it could really limit the payoff. So, yeah, I just can't be arsed. So anyway, I'm going to go in with this. I don't like to do too dark a nose contour. This is the one I'm going to use. It's very, very light.
Nice.
And again, I just tap it on the back of my head just to make sure I don't have too much. You see how dark that is?
Oh, right.
And then you brush it out.
Ah.
You
I
just want to
see what you're
brush the
doing
whole
there.
thing down. Oh, I had some gray on there.
Oh,
That's all right. This will all go away. I thought this was a clean brush. God damn it. It's full of gray. See, these are the problems that come up in life. I'm just going to take some of that gray off of there.
alrighty.
This was my contour brush.
Ooh.
You see how that darkened that down?
Ooh.
Use that again. It's hard to do nose contour. It's that fine line between making it look too dark
Right.
and not dark enough. But all right. Sorry. Got my nose. Funny thing is, I could be sitting here editing. Nothing. The minute the camera goes on. Oh.
Oh, well, Martha Anastasia
Yo.
is asking
Yo.
if there are any comments on last night's drag race.
Oh.
How do you feel? Like, is this like has
Ooh.
everyone watched it? I don't want to get into spoilers necessarily, but I don't know. Maybe we're like, no, everyone here is hip to the scene.
Okay.
We're all good with it. Like, just but any overall comments about last
I'm
night's
just using
episode?
this elf camo, but it's a light pink. Very, very,
Okay.
very light pink. I just don't like my T-zone to look harsh. That's all. I have to be honest, I fell asleep watching it. I had to when I woke up, I had to watch to see who went home.
Well, there you go.
Because I think I kind of fell asleep after Lexi Love's meltdown.
Right. I do say I love a ball episode. Lately,
I love a ball, yeah.
I've been on a little bit of a jag of watching different ball episodes of different seasons. I tend to, you know what I mean? I'll watch a lot of Snatch Games over and over. But now I've been like, you know what? Candice, watch a few of these balls episodes. You know what I mean? I particularly like the ball episode of I want to say it's season 10, the one with Aquaria, like that ball episode. That's a good one. That's one of my faves.
I really liked. I think the first, it wasn't a ball, but it was a multiple runway. But the one where Violet Chachki did the thing from the plaid to the something else.
Oh, right, the runway to the fashion show. I think it was like a winter and then
it was season 9, I think.
Yeah. Well, Violet Chachki's 7.
Oh, that was season 7. Sorry.
Yeah, because I just remember that Violet is the same season as Katya and Trixie. Yeah, Chloe is saying that she woke up to the end of last night's episode and was happy with who went home.
Yeah.
I felt it was appropriate.
Well, the hard thing is, I mean, we all know who went home for Mona Lisa. But my heart broke for her because she's just awkward. She either doesn't play well with others or she plays well with certain people, but she rubbed people the wrong way right away.
100%.
And not just the people in the workroom, but the viewers as well. From what I understand, a lot of people were just over her right away. And that breaks my heart because, she can't help if she's socially awkward. Like maybe she's on the autism scale. Maybe she has anxiety. I don't know. I'm not privy to these things. But I did feel badly for her because even I was like, who is this? Also, that laugh, I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. Whether you're Davina DeCampo or Mona Lisa, if you laugh like that, you only laugh like that so people will look at you and notice you. Nobody laughs like that. Nobody. Think about when you've heard somebody to laugh naturally.
Right.
They don't laugh like that. And it's just it's so conscious.
I am not one to say anything because my mom, my sister, and myself will both like literally have laughing at me that we can't stop. And I know people are thinking, what's going on with them? Why are they doing that? But
I've heard you laugh. When you're having a fit, you still sound like you're laughing. You still sound like a human on Earth. It doesn't sound like this is your first time reacting to a joke. Do you know what I mean? Whereas like Davina DeCampo, that is such a contrived laugh. And she's so old, she probably does it naturally now because she's been doing it like that for so long. And with Harmona, it's like, you don't laugh like that all the time.
You know what? Here's the thing. It looks like Harmona, we've got a lot of divisive feelings here. We're like, Chloe, she bugged me, couldn't shake it, like everyone who's left. And then Thoughts and Musings by Amy says, I didn't love Hormone at first, but she grew on me and now I enjoy her. So, you know what? I've seen her in some subsequent like little interviews and things, and it's like, I'm hoping that we didn't see everything, and maybe I think it was sometimes confidence can come off as being cocky. I don't think she had that right blend of.
Well, I don't feel she was cocky or confident. I think she knew what she could do. I find Susie Toots more cocky.
Oh, interesting.
Like, I think Susie's a good and talented queen. I'm not begrudging her a second, but the second win, a little more. She did good in the SNL line. You know what I mean? Like, she just seems now to be walking into the room, and that's something I didn't like about the Vivian.
Got it.
It's just a little too overconfident. I'm not judging the person for having that because I think that's a great. I wish I was more confident. But when you're in a competition environment and you start to get, because Kyron Thrax had the same problem, and you start to just kind of start blowing your own horn, reading your own mail type of thing, it rubs the room the wrong way. But it also, to me, it takes some of the joy I have in seeing them succeed away.
I will say this, Susie too. Lots of fans. I
like Susie too. I loved her right away. As hard as her makeup, because her makeup, I know what she was doing with her makeup to make that 30s thing, but it didn't do well on camera. It might do well in the theater, but it was really harsh to look at on camera. And I love all the softer looks she's been doing.
I'll be honest and say, I guess it's just a sharper eye, but everyone complaining about her makeup, I was like, I don't know, I think it's fine. Like, I don't think it's terrible. I think it was like, but like you said, it's a look she's going for. And I felt like, how can you falter for going for the look she's going for? But I also understand versatility. That's always the thing that they say, right?
Yeah.
Show different looks, show different silhouettes.
Yeah.
Don't always have a cowl neck, Bianca.
Ariadne, last time, so glad Ariadne didn't go home last week.
Right? Those looks.
Because that fighting fish runway,
oh
my
man.
God. But the best thing about all her runways was how beautiful her face was. And, you know, I get that she has a signature look and that she's going for an elf fairy thing. I get it. That's fine. Good for you. Have a hobby. But if people are constantly going, what's with your face? You know,
Right.
it's just too different. Everyone did that with Trixie.
Right.
Everyone's like, what's going on with her face? I can't see a face there yet. You know, now we know it's Trixie and we're familiar.
For me, I think one of the major changes for Trixie that I was able to get into it a little bit more was when the blue contact stopped.
Yeah.
The blue contacts was like it's a little otherworldly.
Did you hear Trixie broke up with her husband, boyfriend?
Yeah,
that broke my heart.
I heard that, and also that Trixie is contending with a recent arthritis diagnosis, and I can appreciate that because I have arthritis myself and I struggle with it. So
where did she have arthritis? In the hands, the knees? Oh, bless. Well, at least
more, but I know for
yeah, but at least Trixie's not. As I stick this up my nose, at least Trixie's not like a death drop queen or a trick queen. You know.
Fair enough.
I don't think it'll. I mean, it might affect her walking in heels, but she's not. Her performance on stage won't suffer by that. So what I've done is I just did my under. Oh, I need to keep this up for my eyes. I just did my under my T-zone. When you do your nose contour, you drag it out, and then you come back up with your concealer so you don't end up with a brown nose.
Fair enough.
So that's what that's all about.
I really love this combination of colors.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's cute, right?
Yeah.
So now I am. Oh, I just need a handheld mirror. So I'm taking my. I'm just taking on a P. Louise angle brush that super color white. I'm just going to do my eye. I like to do my waterline in white. I have the world's smallest eyes, so I like to try and make them look as big as possible. And the way I do that is with white.
Glamour.
Yeah. So funny. I've never had a problem putting anything near my eyes, but sometimes when I bring the brush into the corner, you get that little tickle thing and your whole body goes,
right.
You know. Like,
totally.
And I used to go and do that, and I'd end up with a thing on my face. So now I just have better control. I know that the jiggle's coming.
Right.
I just maintain.
So Martha Anastasia is saying shock and shame about the split between Trixie and David. Wonder who gets custody of the motel.
Well, she started that motel for him. From what I understand, so he had something to do.
Right.
Because he was sitting at home while she was touring and he was picking his ass. And I think that was becoming an issue. And if that's the impetus, then great. But have you ever seen a review of that hotel? Because there's a guy on YouTube, and I can't remember who it is. And he's from Europe. And so he stayed at the Trixie Motel. It's very expensive.
It is I did look up once because I thought, oh, maybe for a holiday. And I was like, nope.
Apparently, and this is common with a lot of buildings in the South, there's not a lot of insulation. So the walls are very thin. You can hear everything.
Right.
And this guy apparently had contracted a cold or something, and he was coughing through the night, and his wall got knocked on because he kept coughing all night, and it was waking up his neighbor. There's also no kitchen, although they have a bar.
Right.
There's no kitchen, and you can go to the bar, and you can hang out in the bar. I don't know if you can hang out in the pool, but I'm not sure if they charge a cover. But if you're staying in the hotel, you can order food, but they bring it in from somewhere else. They have a pizza place.
Okay.
And so I was just thinking, like, yeah, the novelty of it isn't worth the price, you know?
Well, I mean, honestly, sometimes I feel like with these things, it's, well, if I want to support this drag queen, here's one of the ways that I can,
do it.
transfer some of my resources to them.
Yeah,
Right? Like
right.
I can either buy a t-shirt or I can buy the eyeliner or I can go to Palm Springs.
Yeah.
But and I really did want to because I kind of do like that immersive experience. Like,
Yeah.
there's this other place in California called the Madonna Inn, and it is, but it's old. So,
Yeah.
like it's pre Madonna, Ciccone Madonna,
Yeah.
and every room has a theme.
But is it
like,
Madonna, Ciccone Madonna?
No, it's not at all.
So it's Madonna,
It's
Mother of our Lord.
Yes, from like I think the 50s or 60s.
Oh my God, how great!
And it totally looks like every room Jane Mansfield belongs in it. Right? 100.
Well, I think we should go there.
That's where I'm gonna go. So I totally follow them on Instagram, the Madonna Inn. It's just like a wild experience.
Where are they? In California?
Yeah, they're in California.
Is it expensive?
Well, you know what? It isn't any more it's going to be less expensive than
Trixie.
Trixie.
Yeah.
So, but they have like these really wild themed rooms and cakes and stuff that you can order. Like they're totally known for being over the top. So and so I feel like okay, Trixie Motel is like off the menu, but so they have like just like these wild. I'm just trying to see if I can pull up like a wild. So here's I'll just do a for instance. So so this is like a sample room at the Madonna Inn, like with this wild color. And then it's like a bedroom with you got rocks in it, and it's like, oh, shouldn't Jane Mansfield be doing like in a leopard bikini?
Yeah.
So every room like has like a different.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah. So I'm like, Trixie, I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to the Madonna Inn. I'm gonna go to the Madonna Inn. That's just the whole place looks like a cake.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah, they have all kinds of themes. Everything from caveman to love nest to the sugar and spice room. Like they've got every room is a theme.
Wow. There's that hotel in the Edmonton Mall that has that.
Oh, cool.
It's a very modern hotel. Each room, like they have the space room and the Western room, and
yeah, like they're all very
wow,
like wild.
That's amazing. Did you show that? Did you?
I didn't show this.
Oh,
one.
you should.
I'll show this one.
Yeah.
So this one is room 135, the Swiss rock room. So the wild like wallpaper and colors, and like this rock kind of background, and yeah, just some of the different rooms that they offer are what like we'll try this one. Here's the Lucky Rock room where you have like your zebra floors and this I mean just the subtlety of this couch here. You can't you know.
I have never heard of this place in my life.
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes just yeah, sometimes I just Viva, I agree. I do think that this hotel looks fun. So, and it's the kind of thing where I would almost like be okay. We all have to pool our money and go at the same time and like totally take over like 6 rooms.
Yeah.
At this place.
Yeah, take advantage of as many different rooms as possible.
I was like, I see those rocks and I think spiders. Well, as long as the spiders are hunky, I'll take some hunky, handsome spiders.
You're on your own there, Candice.
Maybe that's just the goth in me. I love spiders.
I love spiders, but I don't want a hunky one. That sounds kind of gross. if I'm going to go for hunky creatures, I like them to have horns.
There you go. All right, fair enough. So we'll have to try to find a stag room for you.
Or a minotaur. I don't, it doesn't have to be a horse.
All
I
right.
don't care.
You know what? That's good that you
Dirty little goat boy. I don't care.
you're open
To the
different,
experience.
concepts. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. Yeah, so big spiders. Yep.
We love a big spider.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite sayings. A friend of mine from Australia. Well, we're not here to fight us.
Right.
I laughed so hard at that, and then I had to have her explain it to me because I didn't understand. It just was so funny a thing to say. What do you mean you're not here to? Well, waste our time. We're not here to waste our time. It's like, I don't know. I think it would be a huge undertaking to have sex with a spider. How big a spider?
That
Like,
doesn't seem casual.
yeah. It's that lackadaisical Australian headspace. Something else I've been trying to do more lately is a harder line under my eye.
Ooh.
Because I do it, then I look on camera. It's like, where did that go?
Right.
This is that Trixie Mattel. Martha sent me this. I don't know why it's got whatever that is there. But Martha sent me this. The black and the white one.
Right.
And I love it. It is the only eyeliner I've been using. Any video you've seen in the last, I don't know when Martha sent me, 6 months, this is what I've been using. I'm thinking of throwing out all my other eyeliner pens because the problem I have with eyeliner pens with drag makeup is they gum up.
Right. How many times I've seen, oh, I recommend this gel, I recommend this pen, and I'm like, no, every single time those, I feel like it's really great sometimes for like an outline, but you can't rely on that.
I'll use one initially, especially to begin an eyeline.
Yeah.
And then to fill it all in, I use the gel.
Map it out.
But liquid liners or this Trixie, those are the only two things I use.
Totally.
So now I'm going to go back in. Well, all right, I'm going to go into Sinister again, and I think I'm going to just go into Creepy, which is that light purple. And I'm just going to do my under eye with this.
So we're using that Sinister palette.
Yeah. This is just that light lavender creepy color.
Yeah, totally.
My drag daughter Wilhelmina is a vet, like a veterinarian, and very math-based education.
Right,
very science, and it's so hard for me to explain color theory and a lot of art stuff. It's like, well, you just got to feel it, and I hate saying that, but it's true. It's like, so I often will have 3 or 4 brushes in one hand. And they all have different colors, especially when I'm getting to the end.
I do the same.
When I'm starting to like finesse things, like I need to touch it. I gotta. And when I get to that point, I can't explain to you what I'm doing because I'm feeling it.
Right.
And I feel badly with Wilhelmina because she doesn't have a natural sense for those things. And literally, if I showed her how to put on eyeshadow, she would do it the same exact way every time. She wouldn't vary it, you know what I mean? Just because it wouldn't cross her mind.
Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of, when they talk about the difference between cooking and baking. Like,
yeah.
Cooking, you experiment, you try different things, and baking is science. You gotta.
You can't fool around with baking.
It's maths.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the British say it's
maths, but it's because you need certain amounts of certain ingredients to have this reaction. and with baking. I'm going to go in now to Betty Boop with Ooh La La, which is this lavender shimmer in the middle. It doesn't look very lavender here. It looks very white, but it's very lavender. I'm just taking it on the same brush I put, because it's a shimmer. I just want to add some glitter to this. Just a little something to catch the light. I don't know if it did anything. I notice it. But I like to try and use as much as I can for the palettes.
Wonderful.
This is why I use the neutrals for my eyebrows. I try and use as many shimmers as I can.
Totally.
I used the Chucky palette to do my eyebrows.
Well, now that are you done using the Ooh La La? Can you show us like a swatch of that on
Oh
your
yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I just thought it would be nice because I don't know if you've already brushed off that XOXO.
Yeah, I did.
But
I can put it all back on. Can you see it's got a purple? It's hard to see. The lights are so bright.
It's very translucent.
Yeah.
So it feels like.
Let me see if I can give you another. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you see it's pinky purple.
Yeah. Do you think it layers well?
Over top of something?
Yeah.
Sure. Let me put it over. Well, let me use the black. Here's the black from Betty Boop. So black. Look how dark that is.
Yeah. It looks great.
And then this is
oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah. And then what were the other two? There's
it was Classy Chic.
Yeah.
And XOXO.
So there's Classy Chic in the middle.
Okay.
And XOXO at the top. It's hard. I'm so sorry. It's hard to see because of the.
It's not that though.
The brightness.
Like I can totally.
But look at how reflective they are.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Thanks for doing that.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate it.
I got nothing else to do. I'm now going to take my contour brush and I'm going into my roll with it. So now I'm just going to reinforce all of my contour, which I put down with cream products. The reason I do that is it layers the makeup, it gives you more depth, but it also, like I block out my eyebrows with cream products and then I set my whole face with powder. It just allows me, if I make a mistake putting something somewhere, I can wipe it off because it's all still wet.
Totally.
So now I tend to do this a lot. Like I'll do this for these three because I don't want the front of my face to have too much darkness in it because it's sticking out further. So I'll do that there. I'll do that in here. I'll just show you quickly where I put this color.
Yeah.
And then I'll do these two. Sorry, these two. And this is where, you see how dark that is?
Yeah. It's almost like a coffee color.
Yeah, I'm just going to let this come forward a little. I'm doing a circle.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And I'm following the hollow of my cheek and letting it fade into the cheek.
Yeah.
But then I'm also going to, in a circle, come up here and do my temple. Yeah. The darker this area and this area is, the more your cheekbones stick out. Yeah. And again, I'm just going to go through those two colors back and forth. I also like to change up go from one hand to another because when you're doing blush on this side, this is the angle the brush is. When you go over here, now the brush is on a weird angle.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's hard, but I'm a little ambidextrous. I'm not a lot ambidextrous, but I'm a little ambidextrous. It's not hard for me to do this. But if you can get used to switching up your hand.
That's it. You got to try, right? You got to experiment.
And I just have to go a little slower because I'm not as good at doing the sweep.
Psycho Space Cadet has joined us.
Oh my God, we're all in trouble now.
Happy Saturday.
Just trying to disperse it now. I don't like it to come too far forward
Right.
Because as your features come forward, they should get brighter because they're more in the sun, and everything behind should be darker. So I just on my hairline too, I just like to try to make sure I get some depth up in here. So it looks like a camera's hitting my like a light's hitting my forehead. And then I'll also now go into like these two light ones. And I'll just soften the edge of that white.
Hi, Alexa.
So it's not too Alexa from the IA.
Alexa Morpheus.
Oh, hey. I also bring my contour down the sides of my neck because I don't really have one. So under here, under the pocket of my chin and then where the ear is, I just like to darken this area a little bit so that when it looks dead on, it just has more of a line.
Right.
I don't know how much it really does. It just makes me feel more necky. All right. So that's mostly the contour. I'm not going to do much more than that. The next thing that I use, this came in this year's advent calendar from P. Louise. It's the Rosy Railway, and it's a palette of blush.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's very nice. I really like this. The palette I use the most, Juicy Cheeks by Blend Buddy. Such a great palette. This purple in the corner here, I'm going to show you how I use this.
That's
amazing. Cosmic Brushes came out with a bunch of cream blushes. This is what they look like. And these are gorgeous. Like this is a great it's a great pink because it's not hot. What it does, it just takes that starkness out, puts more warmth in your face. But I didn't use these today because I wanted to use this one. But so what I like to do, I don't know if but you see how stark, once you do your contour, your concealer here, you end up with a very bright T-zone. Right. And it bothers me when you see queens on TV, like the one that comes to mind, although she doesn't do it now, Deja Skye, when she was on Drag Race, a very white area here, like bleakly so. Like it was just, and I just don't like that. So what I like to do.
Bye, Godiva.
Oh, bye, Godiva. Thank you so much for dropping by, sweetheart. So what I like to do is I take into like a neutral pink. I'm going to do that one there. These two here are very neutral. I like to take this and start with the lightest blush possible, but I do it up here. And try and take some of the edge out of. I also do the Diana Vreeland thing where I bring it up into my temple.
Nice.
But I use the lightest one of whatever blush palette you're using. But start back here with it. And just get it up onto this high area of the cheek. And what it does is it starts to, you see how it's just starting to soften this area? So it's not so white. And it can come quite in under here, but you don't have to bring it anywhere you don't want it to. And without putting more product on, I like to start my blush with it. Because this color is not going to disrupt a lot. But I can put it in and take some of this stark white. I also like to just do a thing there. And when my nose is dry, I like to just come under there. You can also do the sides of your nose if you want. But that's what I do with that color. And then I'll take a deeper color like this one. And then again, I'll pinch, you heard me, I'll pinch the brush. Yeah. But what I like to do with the colors is I try and like to hide all the brown. And by doing it this way, I'm getting that color in. I'm softening the brown so the contour doesn't look so harsh, but I'm also still getting the dimension.
Right.
And again, this is a darker color. I don't want to bring it too far forward. I'll bring it forward as more of the product comes off the brush.
Right.
Like the initial application goes back here. And then by the end of it, I do a nice little Just a nice little round. Come back in here, do the other side. Start right up there. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then swoopies.
Thank you, Uncertain Voyage. I also really like that purple on Wilma's eyes.
Yeah, I love it.
Alex is wondering, wait, did you put blush on your nose?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I always do. Just under here, and sometimes not when I get to the darker colors, but sometimes just a bit here, because this is where your face goes red if you come in from outside.
Right.
You know, it's just natural, and I like to just put a little color back into the face. I'll also take some blush along the front end of my jawline just to warm it up. I don't want it to look so. And then I go into the purple, or the darkest, but this purple.
Right.
If you're afraid of purple blush, I get it. Don't be. So this, I put low. Do you see the darkest part of my contour? So I'm coming in here. You see what's taking the brown away?
Yeah.
And again, circles. My circles are going this way, clockwise. But on this side, they go counterclockwise.
Technique.
Yeah. And then I'm going back in.
Well, Psycho Space Cadet was saying your tips on blush have really helped the placement even without contour, and it's changed their makeup game.
Oh, fabulous. So glad to help.
Yeah, that's so nice to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I struggled with makeup application for so long, and I learned it all by myself. No one taught me.
That's it.
But I had an art background, so it wasn't daunting,
Yeah.
But again, just in here. And then I like to do where I let it just naturally kind of dissipate.
Right.
And then what you're ending up with is you get that contour, that shape.
Ah, okay.
But then when you're looking on, not so much.
It's almost like a crescent moon shape
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah. And then I can go back in. I'm just wiping off some of the darker stuff. I use a towel. I don't use a switch because I can wash this. This is like forever. And then I'm just going to go back into the lighter tones. Just add them here. I'm just looking at the camera, and I can see that there's like a check, and I don't want that, so I'm just putting some more just there. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, Chloe, totally agree. You just gotta practice.
Yeah.
And you gotta try things, and
Yeah.
you know what? Maybe the product is fine, and you just should be using your finger or a different brush or.
Vivid. I'm actually going to go into the Rosy Railway because there's such beautiful pink here. This light pink.
That is lovely.
I'm just going to use this here. Right directly. You see how I didn't even bother going into the dark because this is such a light pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how that's.
I tend to be very blush timid.
It's so easy, but as a drag queen, you have to be blush aggressive.
Yeah, I got it.
And that's a hard thing for me. I'm the same way. I don't, you don't want to look like a whore.
Well, the funny thing is that I think my own perception is off because so many times I've but oh my God, I have so much makeup on. And then I look at the photos and I'm like, no, you didn't.
Nothing at all. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
So.
What are we going through?
I have been cursed by the lip liner gods.
Oh no.
My favorite lip liner, Milani.
Oh,
I am love. What is that? Oh, it's my finger. It's like, what is that black thing there? That's me. Jesus, gee whiz. But yeah, this Milani is great. This color is great for me for a lip.
Ooh.
Yeah, it looks brown-ish, but it's quite pinky red. And I've been using this with the Dolly Parton. Thank you, Chloe. Jolene. Let me show you what it looks like. I don't know how to open this. There we go. So this is Jolene Red.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's great. I love the case, but I can't open it. It's stupid. Also, what does that smell like? I can't really smell. It smells. Some days I smell it, some days I don't.
I'm not smelling much. It's very
Yeah, I don't know.
subtle.
There's an old lady powder smell sometimes.
Right.
I don't know. But anyway, that's that one. And then the other one I have, I just got this. Look at this packaging.
Oh, look at that.
So this little red moment in the middle is meant to
Right.
look like lips.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that.
For those of you who may have possibly watched it's going to catch on. It's still fresh and new. The show called RuPaul's Drag Race UK.
Oh, okay.
Their last season had La Voix on.
Right.
This is her lipstick.
Oh, stop it.
La La by La Voix.
That's amazing.
I had to buy it.
Of course you did.
That's the red. Look at whore. Whore.
That's a great red.
I got to put it next to Jolene just to show you how different it is.
Right. Okay, I see that.
See, Jolene is a blue red.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a little more true red.
Yeah.
And we're not going to use this today.
No.
Although I really I've been using it the last couple of faces you've seen me. It's been with La Voix. We are using. Where is it? Where are you? Here it is. I took it out.
Ooh, boo, 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 doo.
We're using the Betty Boop lipstick from Glamlite, and I'll show you what that looks like next to these. This is it here on the bottom.
Wow.
Isn't it different? It's amazing how different those three reds are, but they're red.
Yeah.
I would say that the Betty Boop red is closer to the La Voix red.
Yeah.
But this is such a blue red. That's why I love the Jolene red. But we're going to use Betty Boop.
Are you familiar with MAC colors at all? Because
Well, the
Betty
MAC
Boop
original
color,
red
yeah,
is like the Betty Boop
I
red,
was literally gonna say
which
that.
is a Russian red, which every
Exactly,
face can
Russian
wear.
red. I was just gonna say it looks like Russian red.
Yeah,
100%.
which has a lot of blue in it.
It does. It's one of my faves.
It's the best red, and no one was doing a red like that until Matt came along, and then Madonna bought it, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
So, oh, excuse me as I do this. I'm so sorry. So anyway, look at all of these. I have all of these lip liners now. I was going on a tear. I could not find lip liners I liked.
Right.
Now, I want to be clear. My favorite is MAC Beats, but it's $45.
What?
It's $45.
Stop it.
But it's also, I have one in here.
That's like Giorgio Armani prices.
I know.
What the heck?
I know, but they're very long. I don't know where it is.
That's true.
They're very, very long.
MAC does not skin.
No, I also have a new one in my storage. Like I just have one ready to go for when the other one's dead. But I went on such a tear to find good lip liners, and I couldn't find any that I liked. Like I tried this Elf one. I got it in purple for pink lipstick.
Right.
It's all right, but it's not great.
Oh, I see that. Yeah,
It's all right.
Yeah.
But the Glamlite Betty Boop came with the lip liner.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, so I don't know that it's good, bad, or ugly.
Yeah, Chloe, I just want to say I have a lot of MAC lip liners that are like 20. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're an investment, and I totally agree with you on shades of red. Like, I think people oftentimes are like, "Oh, red lipstick doesn't look good on me." Red, and I'm like, I was the same thing, but I feel like you know what I mean.
You just have to watch what tone. But what tone are you using
Well,
too?
exactly. That's where I'm headed. Is like, you just got to keep trying. You got to find the red that's right for you. And like you say, reds. I mean, is it pulling orange? Is it pulling blue? Do you know?
Yeah. What are your undertones? Are you olive
Exactly.
tone?
Yeah.
Are you a hateful ginger like me?
Totally.
Like what is it? That's why reds are hard for me because I have a pink undertone.
Right.
But if you have a green undertone, you can almost wear any color. You just have to watch the shade of it then.
Yeah.
All right, so here's this Betty Boop liner. I don't mind this liner. That's what it looks like.
Oh,
It's very
okay.
bright, very red. As a drag queen, I prefer a darker lip liner to my lipstick because that's just traditional. But whatever. Been trying to get a friend of mine to do a live with me, and she's shy to do her makeup. Like she'll do a video,
Right.
But she doesn't like to do her makeup in front of people because it's like,
Right.
oh, I can't do a lip liner. It's like, I don't even think about it. Like, I realize that there are people there and that I'm
Yeah.
talking to you and you're responding, but I'm still in my room. I'm not wearing pants. You know what I mean? Like,
I know, and we need to talk about that. It's got to be some kind of HR violation.
you started it. You started it.
Well, that's only because you weren't. I just was trying to go.
Yeah,
along with the
yeah,
culture.
yeah.
I was trying to go along with the culture. Martha and Anastasia was curious to know
What is it, Martha?
about the Lavoie lipstick. Where did you even hear about it? Where did you buy it?
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
So there's this little musical that's trying to have a go
Okay.
in Britain.
Okay.
It's called The Devil Wears Prada.
Okay. Underdog production.
Yeah. And yeah, it may catch on, it may not.
Right.
We don't know. It's not going to be big enough to ruin careers as well.
Fair enough.
And there's this unknown, oh, she's been kicking at that can forever. Vanessa Williams is her name. I don't know if you've heard of her. But if this musical takes off, she's going to be huge.
Okay.
So she's playing the lead in this. And there was this lovely little video on YouTube of her putting on lipstick. It was Lavoie.
Oh, what?
She said during the run of Devil Wears Prada, this was the Miranda Priestley shade, Lavoie's Ooh La La Red.
Oh, wow.
And I saw that and I thought, oh, is this a joke? And then I went to Lavoie's website, and she not only has that, but she has this. This is called Disco Ball.
Oh, wow.
It is a clear glitter eyeshadow.
So it's like a topper?
Yeah. So I'll put some on now. I had it on the other day as well, but I like to put it in here.
That is.
It sparkles, but I don't know if you can see it on camera.
Wild.
But I like just highlight this inner corner of my eye, up here and down here. But I love it. I think this is great. This looks good over lipstick, although I don't know if it's safe. Like I don't know,
Fair.
but I'm assuming it is. But I don't like to say things that aren't true. But yeah, she also has a nuder lipstick. Oh yeah, here, throw that up on the yeah. There's her Nudie Rudy.
Nudie Rudy. So there you go, everyone. You can Google Lavoie Cosmetics, and this is where I was taken.
Yeah.
This is where destiny took me.
She has other products too. I think there's a mascara.
Yeah, I think it looks like that the site is a combination of a lot of things.
Oh, show them that. Just show them that whole page.
Okay, okay. So
look at all the stuff you can get.
Yeah, so we've got cosmetics are on here.
That pin right there, the heart that says proud.
The heart that
right
says,
there under the t-shirt, yeah, below that.
Okay.
So that product right there is a pin of her and her father when he did the makeover with her.
That's
so it's Lavoie and voila. And $2 from every batch goes to a local LGBTQ charity.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, isn't that great?
That is so great.
And Wilhelmina is going on a cruise at the end of February with her boyfriend. It's her birthday, her 50th birthday gift from her boyfriend. 50.
Wow.
She looks like hell. Tell her that.
No.
But so they're going on that cruise and performing on that cruise, Lavoie and Bianca Del Rio.
You know what? That would be a great show. That seems like what a great duo to put together, Bianca and Lavoie.
Yeah, I don't think they're performing together, but they're on the show, like they're on the same cruise.
Well, I would love if they just had, even if at some point, like passed a baton, like did 5 minutes with each
At each other's show, yeah.
Just let me dream.
The other thing is that Bianca doesn't sing.
Yeah.
And Lavoie doesn't tell jokes. So they could do a show together, I think.
It's like, yeah, I think it could be very like Dean Martin, Jerry Lewis, but elevated.
Less alcohol, more Vegas.
Exactly. More glamour, more glamour.
So this is how I put lipstick on. Very badly. All right. So because I'm over drawing my lips, I hate it when you can see my lip line in the lip. You know what I mean? It just looks
Yeah.
gross. But let me fix this.
So Viva La Pretty has said my top lip has way more pigmentation than my bottom. I'm thinking of using concealer, but I'm afraid it'll ruin the color of the lipstick. So Chloe offered, maybe balancing more liner on the bottom lip to balance it out. I think that's a good thing to try.
Yeah.
Another thing I'd say is just try it with the concealer, or sometimes, you know what, just put a little bit of foundation over, because I also have my lips are pigmented, and I kept trying to go, why isn't this nude look working for me? Why isn't it working? And
Yeah.
it's because, well, my lips are mauve anyway, and that's why these beigey micro pores colors are not working.
Yeah.
So I did find that if I wanted a particular look, I would have to put a little bit of foundation or a little bit of concealer over it. And I agree with the liner. I think, just as other people have said, experiment, give it a try.
Yeah.
I
think that putting your foundation over your lips is a great thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you're wearing a full coverage foundation or something, because it just gives you the same tone.
Yeah.
For everything. But I get it if it's not something you do normally. Like as a drag queen, I cover everything with the same base because I have to.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, what I was going to say is, when I put my lipstick on, I line it and then I bring the liner in.
Yeah.
So that there's a clear spot of lip, and then when I put the lipstick on, especially if I've used a darker lip liner, it makes the lipstick look brighter in the middle.
Yeah.
But because these are such a fantastic match, I'm just going to put this next to the lip liner. Look at them next to each other. You can't tell which is which.
Yeah.
It's a perfect match, which worries me. Oh, I just broke it. Because I had it up too high. I was flying too high too soon.
One Christmas, I was gifted. Do you know there's this British makeup artist, Lisa Eldridge?
I do.
Okay. Anyway, she has like a line of cosmetic, mostly lip products, or she's like releasing a little bit. Anyway, I was gifted one of those lipsticks, and there was very beautiful. And then I went and it snapped. The bottom of it snapped. And I was like, oh my god, this is so expensive. But I just shoved it in, and now I will use a brush to get it that one, because it's a beautiful red.
Well, I heard early, like decades ago, a friend of mine was a makeup artist, and she would take the bullet lipsticks because she was a professional.
Yeah.
She can't be using bullet, like looking for a bullet every time she needs a shade. So she took a clear pill caddy, opened the lipsticks right up, and put all of the lipstick into the sections of the pill caddy.
Yeah, I've heard of people.
And you can see it from the one side. Oh, that color. You hold it right up to their face to see what color it is.
Yeah.
And then you're always using a brush anyway.
Fair enough.
And I was like, God, that makes so much sense. But I'm sorry that makeup lipstick isn't sold that way, because the lipstick component is so expensive and unnecessary. You know what I mean? It just, we don't really need, I mean, I get at the time in the initial stages of the world that made sense, but I think we've evolved.
You know what? I think if you're a 5 lipstick person, have the bullets. But I think if you're gonna be like you're trying different things, you're experimenting. I mean, that's another thing to give it a shot. Maybe decanting, depotting is the thing for you. I mean, that's also why you get the popularity of the Z palettes as well. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to be carrying 15 of these palettes with me, eyeshadow palettes with me, and blush palettes with me. Let me just put the things that I want in this Z palette.
Yeah. So the thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to Chloe sent me this. This is spaced out. It was
there you go. There we go.
The blush palette that came with the Lethal Cosmetics summer mystery box, and it looks like this.
Wow.
So this is just pink highlighter, and this is pink and orange.
Right.
And so let me just show you what they look like. I'll use this hand. So this is the pink. Nice highlighter, very neutral, but pinky. And then this is the orange one. I don't know if you can see the difference.
A little.
Yeah, but this other one is very, very dramatique. I'm gonna put a lot on here.
Okay. Chloe's not necessarily a lipstick and palette person. I had the ABH one. He used it 3 times. You know what I mean? You've got to know what works for you.
Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, no, I don't like. I got I got a lipstick palette from P. Louise in one of the advent calendars. I think I sent it to Chloe. I hated it.
Fair enough.
I just it's gross because it's not made for that. An open palette with liquid in it. Even like the Danessa Myricks eyeshadows with the cream and the powder next to each other. There's nothing to keep the creams from getting covered in powder. So
Yeah.
I just don't like that. I prefer like a lip caddy. I mean, a pill caddy, which everything's closed. But anyway,
Yeah,
so
that's it. You've got to have the discipline to, you know what I mean?
yeah. So I'm taking this orange one, and I'm just going to do a little highlight here on my cheek.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then the same over here. And then just across there, catch that highlight there. Now, because I don't wear lip gloss.
Smart.
Yeah, so I'm getting a nice, and I'm using the pinky orange one, so there's a little more depth to it than the pink one.
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, just a little detail.
Yeah.
Without it being, and now it's not sticky.
Right.
Lots of shine. The other thing I love to use, so thank you, Chloe. I love that. You know I love that. I think I told her, give me that. And then the other thing I use, this is like a staple. This is Be Perfect's Get Wet highlighter.
Nice.
This is like a creamy, honey-like consistency.
Oh.
I'm almost near the end of this. I have to get a new one. I hope they have it. I hope they're still making it. But it's just very highlightery. And when you put it on, it's just very glittery.
Now,
It just like it actually there's quite a lot of glitter.
Yeah, would you call that more gold or champagne?
It's got a lot of colors. It looks like it has a pink. It looks like it has a bit of blue.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's very multifaceted. I think it would go with anything. So what I do is I just pat it onto the cheek up into the higher area.
Nice.
Because I want that drag queen glitter. But you have to be careful with this because if you put it on your forehead, it'll make you look sweaty. And I like to put just a little bit of it into the corner of my eye. Just to make sure that that's glittery.
Ooh, pretty.
And then again, just a little. Because it actually sparkles. Like I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, you can.
But it's like glitter. And
I have to tell you the entire color palette that you're working with today.
Yeah.
It's like after my own heart. Like this is my fave.
All right. So now it's eyelash time. I just made a new pair of eyelashes for myself.
Look at those.
I love making eyelashes. I like doing fussy things. I don't know why. Like when I was working on Road to Avonlea, the TV show, at the end of the season, one of my favorite things to do would be to sit there with the designer and we'd untangle all the jewelry, all the necklaces.
Right.
And we just sit there and it would like by the end of the season, some of this is vintage jewelry, some of it's cheap repros, but they're all in this knot. We would just go through it and we'd spend hours, but she had the same mentality as where we just not in a rush. I'll do this all day. I like pulling out stitches and when I'm sewing, like things like that. I love it. Oh, just want to do my eyebrows. This is the fixing spray I'm using right now. I have a new one from my P. Louise advent calendar, but I have this. I also have, after I put on my concealer, this is the powder that I put on. It's the e.l.f. It's a really HD powder, like it's really micro blended powder.
Nice.
And I'm almost done this. And as soon as I'm done it,
Wow.
as soon as I'm done it,
That's
I
inspirational.
I have Artitude Cosmetics. Rux came out with some face powders, and so I have a couple of them. I bought a pink one and a translucent one, and she sent me the lavender one. And I'm not a big fan of that on my face because it doesn't work with my tone. So I sent it to Chloe, and she loved it. I haven't used them yet, but that's the next thing. So now it's eyelashes. I use Wig Bond because I don't read in mornings.
Because you live dangerously.
Yeah. And
I'm just curious to know for people out there, how's your February going? We're kind of in our last sort of 15, 20 minutes of the chat. So I just love to hear about, anything special, anything amazing going on in people's life, or anything that you're like, what? This is the pits.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah, who's doing anything for Valentine's Day while we're on it?
You know what? My sister is doing a show,
so
I offered to babysit.
Oh, nice. So aren't you sweet?
Looking after my niece, and my partner and I actually booked sort of a date for the week after, because I just feel like Valentine's too much competition. I don't want to. It's just a lie.
It's also so unnecessarily expensive when you can have the same meal the week before, the week after for half the price.
That's what I'm saying. So that's basic. Well, you know what we did? There's a Revival Cinema. Well, there's lots of revival. We're very blessed in Toronto to have like a lot of Revival cinemas, but there's one Revival theater, and
which one?
On the Review.
Oh yeah.
And they're gonna show a Cassavetes movie with Gina Rollins or Gina Rollins and
which
Gloria.
One? Oh, the best one.
Which I've never seen.
Oh my God! Did you see the Sharon Stone remake?
No,
it's horrible. Don't.
So this is the thing. Like, start with the original. Start with the best, right? And I thought,
well, she was his muse. I think she was the last true muse.
Right.
And then his son, John Cassavetes, Nick Cassavetes, directed her in The Notebook.
Yeah. Yes,
that's her son. That's her son. Yeah.
And he's done a few acting gigs as well.
Has he really? Is he really?
Yes, he is.
Well, Gina Rollins is stunning.
Right.
And all of her bone structure would do well on a man.
Well, sometimes that's just the truth. Handsome is handsome.
Yeah. She was in Hope Floats.
Yeah. Yes.
My favorite Sandra Bullock movie, Hope Floats, because it's not really a Sandra Bullock movie. Like, it is, but it's not 2 weeks notice and stuff like that. Are they balanced? I think they look pretty good.
They look great.
So when I put on my eyelashes, I don't follow the curve of my eye, because if I did, my eyelash would come down like that. So I put it up the side of my face into my eyeliner, and you can see. Do you see how far away it is from the edge of my?
I do.
So now I'll take mascara and do my eyelashes, and it'll hide all that.
Okay, we got some February feedback.
Oh.
Alexa Moorfield, I just quit my job and plan on really loving to live for once.
Good for you.
Spectacular. Enjoy. Live your life.
Who was that?
Alexa.
Snaps for Alexa.
Snaps.
Well done. Fuck those people. Take your job. I just swore. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, Martha Grunwald had busy trying to multitask while watching. Turn wrong burner on and set the pot holder on fire.
Oh no, Martha.
That's the kind of eventful that, maybe we can skip. I'm
not surprised. That woman's a hazard. No, I'm kidding.
Oh man. So Viva So Pretty says, hopefully, in terms of Valentine's plan, my husband and I can go to the Boom Boom Room Burlesque show
Oh,
for Galentine's Day. I have to tell you what, I love any kind of gothy situation. Ooh, pretty.
yeah, I think that worked pretty good. This is one of my favorite wigs that Denise Cherneau did for me. She said, "Do you want?" I remember when she said, "Oh, would you like a Cruella wig in red and black?" And I was like, "Yes." And I washed it since, and then I restyled it. This is my restyle of this wig, and I think it's all right. I don't think I did as good a job as she did, but oh, I just love it. There we go.
Ooh, stunning, Wilma. Thank you, Martha.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's funny is you can, I don't know if you can see it. The camera is so forgiving.
Right.
I have all these lines in my face, just these forehead wrinkles.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with them, but every once in a while when I'm editing, I notice them more. And I'm like,
I hear you.
what's going on? And so I've been trying to use like lighter powders, whiter powders to kind of give myself more reflecting.
Right.
But then I feel like I end up with this circle here,
yeah, that can happen.
which bothers me. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to take my kabuki brush that's got a lot of my perimeter foundation on it, which is just a slight bit darker. I'm just going to just over there. I just want to take some of that starkness out. Yeah.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah. Just pat it down. And I could powder again because I've just put foundation on, but the foundation is going on powder. So my attitude is we're good.
Yeah.
I also don't want to put so much on that I end up looking dry.
I hear you.
And look at this. This eyebrow is speaking to the manager, and this eyebrow, I don't know what the hell this eyebrow is doing.
That other eyebrow saying, listen to the eyebrow
Yeah.
next to me.
I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge here. Let me get my eyebrow brush. Oh, that's not it.
Bye, Martha. Have a great rest of your
Bye,
day.
Martha. Don't set anything else on fire, you crazy cracker. A little better.
I've recently bought some new brow products because I'm just like, just try some different things.
Yeah.
Like, don't get stuck in the rut. And I've gone to get. I don't have a very hairy face. Or, like, I have a lot of hair. The downside to that is I have like 3 strands of hair in my head. Right. It's like, you know what I mean? These things that I have to look after mustache or whatever on my face, and I'm like, but I'll bet you have a gorgeous thick head of hair.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So
sorry, I'm not gonna weep over you.
Yeah, no, not particularly.
That's the worst thing I think. Is as a woman just not having a good head of hair because it's so ingrained.
Yeah.
I feel bad for anyone with alopecia or thinning hair, or God bless people that were born with thin hair their whole lives. Like, it's one thing to have it and then to lose it, but to have to never have it. At least you have those moments where you're, my 3 hairs aren't curling the way I like them. But remember when I had 8? Oh, those were the days,
That's my life.
Yeah. And your sister has such great hair. I hate her.
She does. Her hair is very thick.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just, thank God I have some curls in my hair. Otherwise, it would be not great.
Yeah. So there you go. This is the Galentine, Shmalentine, Valentine's party.
Woo-hoo!
I don't know if I never, makeup is such a solitary thing when you're putting on makeup. You're usually alone. It's the rare few of us who do YouTube videos that make it more of a social event. But I don't know if I was able to give you any tips that you hadn't thought of before. I don't know if you use heavy makeup, because the dry makeup is different than regular makeup. Regular makeup is a lot more forgiving. Although with drag makeup, the eyelashes solve all the
There you
problems.
go.
But I yeah, I'm not normally I would glue my wig down. Let me just start with that. Um, but I do enjoy playing with makeup, and when I do have like last week, the Drag Race review that's out right now for episode 5. The makeup on my face, it's mostly Juvia's Place, and particularly the Wahala 2 palette. I've never used it. Ted gave me that 3 Christmases ago, and I've never used it. And it's only because I have better palettes. It's not a dig at Juvia's Place. I don't mind their formula. It's fine, but it can be some blending issues with it sometimes. Also, a lot of my Juvia's Place I've had a long time now, like 4 or 5 years, and it's just starting to go. You know what I mean? It's not blending as well. It's becoming patchy. So I used a bunch of my Juvia's Place palettes that I've been using for years last week, and I noticed that they just weren't giving me the bang for my buck. I got this palette. I'm probably not going to ever buy P. Louise again, just because they're starting to go down a Claire's route as far as their packaging and that.
Okay.
I'm too old for that. But I got their November budget box, which came with either a rainbow palette or a cool tone palette. And I got the rainbow palette. What If You Could Fly? It looks like this. It's a book.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. And it opens like this.
Wow.
So there's this color page, that color page.
I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah. And then there's this other one.
Oh.
Yeah. So I have been using this palette a lot since I got it. I was supposed to get this at the end of November. It was the October palette. Supposed to come at the end of November. We went on strike. I didn't get it until January. But I've been using this a lot. My other favorite palette to use right now for drag, and I've been using it almost exclusively since before this came, is the Blend Bunny Ellis Atlantis palette.
Yeah,
this is your one-stop shop. The thing I love about this is it's very much like a Be Perfect palette, like one of the carnivals.
Right.
But it has everything. Excuse me. Hold on. That's how I sneeze. Very loud. Yeah. Hello. But the thing I like about this palette is there's blues, there's greens, there's the gray tones here, the neutrals over here.
Yeah.
Something for everyone. There's some shimmers right down the middle are all the shimmers. And they're all toppers. They'll go on any of these. Whereas if you picked up like a carnival, like the Tahiti one, very pink and red and purple. There's not a lot of blue or green. And I just feel that this is more bang for your buck. And then when you think of like a palette like Beauty Bay's mattes, which is gorgeous. Their formula is not as great as Blend Bunnies. You know what I mean? Like it's all right. It's good. But anyway, those are the palettes that I've been kind of using of late. So glad to use the Chucky, what is it, Crazy in Love palette. Martha sent me this. Thank you, Martha. This is the first time I've actually used it. I've swatched it, but I've not used it, and I really love it. I'm going to use this again because some of these deep tones are really good base tones. And then the Betty Boop from Glamlite. I bought this. I think there was a restock, and I got it through I Feel Beautiful Canada, which meant I didn't pay a lot of duty, and the shipping was cheaper. Right. But I love that color story. I've been wanting to use this since I got it. This color right here, which I've used on my lid, I love it. And then this palette. This is the second time I've used Sinister from Cosmic Beauty, and I love it, especially using this ghost shade right here. I want to take this protective filter off of here and stick it back over here. But using it as a primer or a glue for some of these shimmers, excellent. So very, very happy to have used those. I'm going to try and go through every palette I own. Like, as I say, I have Beauty Bay palettes that I own because it's like, oh, that's a good one to get. It's on sale. I haven't used it. You know, it's once you have it, it's like, oh, it's just over there. I think that I have a P. Louise purple palette that I may have only swatched. I've never put it on my face.
Oh.
And it bothers me because these things aren't cheap.
No, they're not.
And when you like if every pallet's about $100 and you have 10 and you're only using one, there's 80, $90 that you could have done something else with.
Yeah, you could have gotten Tim Hortons with that.
Just saying. Oh my nose.
Now, I was wondering where are we feeling like, you've got the beauty mark on. Is our look complete? Ooh.
I moved my beauty mark. I used to have it up here on my cheek,
Pretty.
but I didn't like it up there. I thought it made me feel old. I felt like that was an old place for a beauty mark, whereas the Marilyn Monroe lippy area,
There you go.
much better.
Pretty.
Yeah, and I took some great wig courses from Carl Brown.
Right.
I follow him on Instagram. If you've never seen Carl Brown's wigs, they're stunning. He's a master of 1940s Hollywood glamour, like the peekaboo hair and all that. And I've taken a few wig courses from him. And so the glitter wig that I have right now, the ginger with the tinsel in it, I styled that one. I'm trying to do more wig styling on my own. But God bless Denise Cherneau. I just love her wigs.
That is a fabulous wig.
Yeah, I love the colors too. Like I wouldn't wear a red like this or a black, but together they look great.
Amazing. Ooh.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. I hope that we helped break up your Saturday. I really appreciate you taking the time to drop by. I will be having a new video up probably Friday next week for Drag Race episode 6 of season 17. I want to thank Candice Gregoris for making her Saturday available to me to moderate the deliciousness that is all of you. And thanks for your questions. If you have more questions, you can always message me. If I get a notification of a message, I will answer it. So
and I'm also gonna plug this for you too, Richard. If you are on Wilma's Patreon, there's a live tomorrow.
Oh yes, I have a live tomorrow with my Patreoners starting at 4 p.m. And that's open to all my Patreoners. So regardless of what tier you fall into.
Ooh.
But I sometimes I wear makeup for those, sometimes I don't. I'll probably not tomorrow because we did this today, but
right.
Because I have a life.
We do together. We have a life.
Yeah. My life involves me getting ready for the taping of the last episode of Drag Race. But I'll make it. But yeah, I'm really pleased that I was so worried when the Sinister palette from Cosmic Beauty got diverted because of the strike, and then it took forever to come. And I got to a point where I was like, I'm gonna hate this palette. Like at the time I remember thinking, I don't care. I don't want it anymore. I don't even care if I get my money back. I just don't. I'm so over it. And then I used it begrudgingly that first time, and I was like, oh, this is actually like once I kind of got over myself, I was like, oh, this is actually quite nice. I'm really impressed. I also like the way all three palettes work together.
Yes, I think they work well together.
Yeah, they
Great
did.
choices.
Yeah, they didn't fight each other. They blended well. Yeah, yeah. So as I said, the Chucky's Crazy in Love just got reissued, and you can get the whole collection, including the leather jacket, makeup bag. There's the two-tone blushes. There's a mirror. You can get all of that now at the Glamlite website. You can still get the eyeshadow palette for Glamlite for Betty Boop. And from what I understand, Cosmic Brushes of Beauty is now selling just this palette. You can get just this. You don't have to buy the whole collection. You can just get that. So if you're looking for something to enhance your makeup collection, then I would highly recommend any three of these. They all got a Drag Queen approved stamp. And I will be using them again and again and again. All right. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And until next week, when the next issue of the Finger Do Review is up and loaded, have a great weekend, everyone. And thanks so much for joining us. Bye. Yeah, this is